Hello everyone and welcome back to Holmakra. Now I know how to pronounce it correctly thanks to one of my wonderful viewers, Jan Eriksson, who has told me that the accent over the first A in the word Holmakra is actually pronounced. It makes the A turn into an O pronunciation, so it's actually Holmakra. So thank you very much for that, Jan. Very much appreciated, mate. Yeah. So we're not actually much further on in time than we were at the end of the last episode. Here's the 1167 just coming back from field 4 after getting the rolling done. Now we've got a bit of a change of plan here, and again it's thanks to information from you guys, the wonderful viewers. I've had to essentially change my approach at what I'm going to do. This field here is now not going to be the grass field. Now it was one of my viewers, Krogmos, who has reliably informed me that you can feed the chickens sorghum. Now, of course, I did know this, but obviously I haven't actually done chickens for a while in the game, so it had completely slipped my mind. I just had it as wheat in my mind. That was what you had to feed them. But of course, no, sorghum, you can give them that as well. So, and I can plant that right now. So, as I have already obviously just put soybeans down in field 4, which I can't do anything about now, I'm going to put sorghum down in this field here. So if I pop into the menus, yeah, where are we? So right, so that's where we've just planted the soybeans, and this field here was going to be the grass field. The 1050 is in field 1 here, putting down soybeans again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make field 2 the sorghum field, which is going to feed the chickens that I'm hopefully going to get very soon, and this field here is going to be the grass field for the cows. So we'll have soybeans here to harvest and benefit from financially. We'll have sorghum here to feed the chickens and potentially make a few euros on, depending on how hungry they are. Soybeans in this one is again to benefit from financially, and this field here will be grass to feed the cows. But this is all hopes and dreams at the minute until I get myself some more money, because I'm currently on just over 21,000 euros. I think it's about 40,000 euros for the cow barn that I look to set down somewhere over here. I still need maybe, I think it's maybe about 40 or 50,000 to give myself somewhere to live, a nice farmhouse. And what else? What else is there? Yeah, another thing that some of you wonderful viewers have told me about is this hateful piece of equipment, the ASUS Scout. There is a modded version on the mod hub, and thanks to Mrs. Sim Gamer and to James Rhodes for telling me about this. In fact, I'll just pop in and show you now, because if anyone else feels the same way about them that I do, if I just whip along here, look at this. The one that I'm focusing on is the XXL 260, which gives you a whopping 260 meter radius for scanning, and you can change the colours of it as well, which is pretty cool. So I think what I'm going to do, I know I have already done most of the scanning. I still have field 5 to scan, this one here where the stone picker is currently working. That still needs to be scanned, but all the others have already been done. But again, more information coming from you guys is obviously the soil information needs to be redone every now and again, doesn't it? Again, thanks to Mrs. Sim Gamer for reminding me about that. So it might be a good idea just to buy myself one of these outright. Instead of leasing it, I'll just buy it, and then I've got it there for whenever I need it. And it will be the big version, so I don't have to, it will make that job a little less painful. So I think at some point I'm going to return this one, and I'm going to get myself the big one. But I need money for that, and I think that costs just over 17,000 euros. I think. Let's have a quick check again, remind myself. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, 17,000. So I need to sell some trees. I need to get some money into the bank so I can start moving forward. I can get the cow barn down. Let's just have a quick flick through the machinery. Oh, you stopped. And you're not full. You know what I think this might be? If I try and start this machine up, lower it down and activate it. Oh. It was struggling a bit before. I think that might have been why it stopped. But you know what? Yeah. Let's just turn that off for now. I think I might have to get the put the 1167 on this job for now and just get that done, because this was struggling quite hard up these hills, up these steep bits. So yeah, I think we might, in fact I'll do it now. We shall have a bit of a swapsies. Let's just look. Is that going to roll down? No, right. It is, isn't it? It's moving down the hill. Stay. Oh well, I might return to find it somewhere down there. We shall see. Hopefully you've... Yeah, now you're alright. Now you've not got a few tons of metal hanging off your back end. Right, so we'll get this home, and we'll get the 1167 sent back out here to finish off this job. Right, he's on his way over to Field 5 now to go and finish that job off. He's got the power and the oomph to get that job done, hasn't he? This poor little thing was struggling, wheezing hard up those hills, so we'll give it a break. So, what do I need to do? Yeah, I need to get some money in, so let's jump in the Volvo, in the F16, and get some logging done. Right, there we go. The Volvo's got its first load of logs on there, and I've sent him on his way to... It doesn't actually look as full as it usually is, but for some reason it wasn't letting me load any more on, so I've just sent him on his way. He's going to go and take that to the sell point, obviously. Now, where are we? 10:50 here is still busy in Field 1, drilling the soybeans. So we'll just leave him to it. He's got an hour and 20 minutes left on that, apparently, so you can be left to it. I have put the... Oh, there we go. This one's ready for an emptying. I put the 1167 here, obviously, into Field 5 to get the rocks out of here. And I think there's... I forgot to have a look, actually, before I cancelled the courseplay course there, so we'll have a look at that in a second, but I think there's a good hour, a couple of hours left on this one before it's finished. But I'll just take it over here to where I'm dumping the rocks from this field. There we go. I'm just popping them in a heap here at the well, I suppose just one of the corners of the field here as we get to it. And one of the other things that I really need to buy as a matter of urgency now is I need to get hold of a trailer so I can start picking up all these piles of stones and getting them into the modified stone crusher machine that I still haven't bought. So I've got lots of things I need to buy. I need to put 40,000 towards a cow barn. I need to put 40,000 towards a farmhouse. Let me just have it. In fact, I'll just quickly show you the one that I'm considering. It's by the wonderful Elk Mountain Modding, and it's this one here, the rustic cabin. Obviously, I'm not going to put it here in the field, but that's the one I'm going to place down. I haven't decided on the colour of the roof yet, but yeah, that's 40,000. So I'm going to put that. In fact, let me get this thing up and running again. In fact, I'll just, for the sake of wasting time, I'll just tell it to go back to the last waypoint. Right, so you're on your way to the sell point. Right, so here, if I jump back into the construction menu, farmhouses, there we are. Right, I'm going to pop this essentially right there. Might need to clear one or two more trees out of the way just to give it a bit of space, but I quite like the idea of that, just popping it there at the very end of the lane. So that'll be there. And then over here, if I jump into the animals section, cows, yeah, where are we? It's all the way to the left here, isn't it? There we are. That's the one. Yes, I know I've not got enough money. Thanks for reminding me. But yeah, that's the one I'm going to pop down here on this side somewhere. It takes 80 cows, so that should be more than enough for me for now. But it matches these other two buildings. So that's 40,000. The house is 40,000. If I go into the production menu to have a look at I think it's in factories, isn't it? Yeah, I'm in factories, and it's somewhere right towards the end. There we go. That one, line production, 25,000. Not sure where to put this one yet. Might pop it somewhere here, but I might tuck it away into the tree somewhere here and make a nice little feature of it somewhere. Haven't decided, but that's 25,000. So up to now, that's I need 105,000 for the cow barn, the farmhouse, and the line production stone crusher thing, and 17,000 for that. So that's what, 123,000. That's what I need to make money wise in order to achieve what I want to achieve in the near future, and that's before buying any chickens or buying any cows. And that's still paying for seed from the 1050 as that drills that field, and we need to get these ones drilled as well. I've got just under 20,000, so what did we say? So I need 110,000, I think, and that'll get me what I need and still allow me to pay for the bits and bobs that I need along the way. Oh, and a trailer. I forgot about the trailer. Oh dear. Money. I need lots of money. So let's get lots of money. Let's get these logs sold. In fact, where are you up to? Let's have a flick through. There we are. Right. What are you going to give us? 21,000 plus 3. Oh, not as much as I thought. But then there wasn't as much in that load as I thought. I'm sure there was something up with that particular load, because it usually fills itself much more. So, you stop strapping yourselves down. The strap, I don't know what it is why it does that. Right, let's send you back home. Yeah, so I shall join you back shortly when we've got a bit further. Right, well, a little bit further we are now. For you it's been 2.5, 3 seconds. For me it's been 2.5 to 3 days. Real life time. Right, we've had a massive expansion again. What have I done? Firstly, I've got some sorghum into this field. The 1050's been busy getting this field drilled. And what I have done is, as you can see here, I have cleared all of these trees. In total, 593 of them. And as you can see, we have expanded considerably. We now have the cow barn with lots of cows. They haven't got any food yet. They need feeding. So where do I start? What have I done? We have the cow barn with 80 cows, Holsteins, 12 months old. Oh, tree. We have a fermenting silo that will take, I think it's chaff, hay and grass, and turn that into silage entirely for the cows. We have the modified stone crusher that takes stone and water and gives out lime. So that's there. I have a house. Here it is. The lovely rustic cabin from Elk Mountain Modding. It's an actual beauty, this thing. I was considering one or two of the houses that came with the Platinum expansion, but you can't actually interact with those houses. You can the sleep trigger's just outside the front door, whereas this thing has it's got a wardrobe trigger there, and obviously you've got your own little bedroom here with a sleep trigger. So that's awesome, and it's just a great little place, isn't it? It's very apt for this part of the world, even though I suppose it was originally designed maybe for a rural American map. It does still suit this place, I think, and I've tried my best to match the red with the rest of the buildings. So, kit. We've got a lot more kit as well. In total, another ridiculous amount of money. These 593 trees bought in just over 2.8 million euros. which is ridiculous. So I have spent most of it. We're back down to 20,783 euros. So I shall show you round the new bits and bobs that I have bought. We have this lovely little trailer here, grain trailer. So that was purchase number one. I've got two of these. This one's blue for water. It's from the LSFM, one of their packs anyway. Tank pack perhaps. So yeah, that trailer is for water. It will be for the cows and for the stone crusher over there, and in here we have the same thing in white, which will be a dedicated milk tanker to store, sell and transport milk from that the cows produce. So we've done that, we've got that. But yeah, it's a lovely barn setup, this. I really do like it. And it's also got this cool little thing here. You see how the little icons appear there? This is just particular to this barn. So if I go over here and just press circle again, they disappear. So you can see. I'll show you on the outside as well. So yeah, you've got your tip trigger there for straw, and your feed tip trigger there, and water tip trigger, and also in the pasture here you also have this tip trigger for grass, so that's very helpful. I'll turn that off for now. Right, so onwards. What else have I bought? We'll pop into this workshop first. I've still got the stone picker, because another thing that I have bought is a couple more patches of land. If I just switch on Iron Man mode for a second, drop out of there. So it kind of looks pretty cool from up here as well. What do you think? So that's the sorghum field. This is the first of the soybean fields, both drilled. This is, and again, in proper farmer sim fashion, I have changed my mind yet again. This is going to be the grass field now, with it being so nice and close to the cow barn. It just makes perfect sense to have this as the grass field, and it's a decent size. This field here, field 5, is ploughed and rock picked, so it's ready to be cultivated. And I have also picked up over here, we have this piece of land here with the few trees in. This is ours here, so that's going to be turned into a field. And this section here, which is also ours and will be turned into a field. It does also, the same as the other fields, they come with a big patch. I think a lot of these trees here right up to the edge of the map there belong to me, but I'm not planning on touching them at the minute. Because I'm done with trees for now. As I say, the big job that I've just done has taken me ages. This field here is planted with... what's in here? Let's have a look. I'm sure it's... yeah, soybeans again. Yeah, that's another field of soybeans, and this field is ploughed and rock picked, ready to be cultivated, and I'm not sure what I'm going to put in there. Possibly soybeans if I can get them in, or possibly oats, because we're still within a window of opportunity just for a bit of variety. I can get some oats in the ground there as well, or sorghum or soybeans. So I'll make a decision on that imminently. But yeah, what do you think from up here? It looks pretty cool, I reckon. So far, decent little layout, if I don't say so myself. So let's come back down to earth with a bang. Turn off super speed and flight mode. Right, now, firstly, one of the things I wanted to point out and give thanks to is a couple of my viewers, Jack Sarge Painting and Finnish Farmer. They both pointed me in the direction of the Agco leveling pack, which consists of a set of combine, well, it's one combine harvester that's customizable in various brands, that has a special set of hydraulics on it that is specific for harvesting steep hills. Now, I'm very grateful for your advice in pointing me in that. I've downloaded and installed that mod pack, and I have had a look at it, and maybe it's just me because I'm a bit finicky with things like that. As much as I like things to be useful, I like things to look right as well, and they just looked a bit. I just wasn't feeling them. I know that they do a job and they're specific for a job, and I fully appreciate that. In respect of harvesting the steep fields here, this big one especially. This I think this is the steepest of them all. But I've decided just to stick initially with a normal but big and powerful combine. If it doesn't work, then I'll eat my words and I shall purchase that ACO leveling harvester. But for now, just because I like them big, I have treated myself to the beautiful Lexion 8900 class. There it is, header, trailer and combine. I've also picked up the Axion 960 with front and rear mower set, obviously clearly in the class colours. Who needs an excuse for another tractor? Come on. So we've got that for mowing the grass. I have picked up this brand is it Vicon Tedder. I think it's 9 meters in width, so we've got that for working the grass as well. So that's the start of some of the new kit. But come on, look at it. And it did it got here under its own steam via auto drive, and it squeezes through the trees, so that works. The one thing I did find though, we all know now that the header trailers and headers, especially if they're the standard in-game ones, they kind of latch themselves on to the header trailers, don't they? Well, the bumpy lanes here put that to the test, and even though I'd reduced the speed of this somewhat just to get itself back, the bumps make the header fall off. So I'm going to have to figure that one out, whether I get a tractor to take it separately to a field when it's going for harvest and fully reduce the speed down to something stupid like 10 or 15 miles an hour just to reduce the bumps. But that thing, yeah, it just bounced off. Didn't like it whatsoever. Right, okay. More new stuff. I've got chickens as well. Picked up some chickens. Nothing's been fed yet. We've got, how many chickens did I get? Let's have a look at the animal section. I can't remember. We've got 80 12-month-old Holsteins, and we have 180 chickens. So, all need feeding so they can start producing. Obviously, we'll get eggs from the chicken and we'll get milk from the cows. But I've got a relatively busy workshop in here now. As you can see, I have picked up a telehandler with a bale fork, because every farm needs a telehandler. I have picked up a Claas windrower. Nice big thing. Now we all know the 1050, that's hooked up with the planter. Everything's had a good wash as well, nice and clean. I've picked up this Keenan Mech Fiber 365 feed mixer, which is a thing of beauty. 4D modding. One of his marvellous pieces of work. Again, another tractor, couldn't resist, sorry. But, again, I don't need an excuse for another tractor. I figured I'd get myself a John Deere this time. The 8R410 custom moddings. Wonderful piece of work with the floater wheels. Beautiful. Obviously, we've got the 1167. I picked up this Whopper, the Claas quadrant square baler. For baling, obviously. Yeah, decent stocked workshop, I would say. So yeah, had a bit of a spending spree, bit of a splurge. And this, the modified field scanner, which I picked up in case colours. So everything there is in case red, and you can customise the colours, the hoses, and everything. So that's. And I haven't used it yet, but when I did attach it to the tractor and unfold it, you literally on the mini map you couldn't see the edge of the radius, so that's just right up my street. That's perfect. So that if I ever have to do field scanning from now on, this will be my alternative. Much more preferable to the standard one with the feeble scanning radius. So yeah, I'm keeping hold of this thing for now because we do have we've got another 2 fields, well 3 fields actually. If we look at this one here, I'm going to map out this field and get this one ploughed. So we've got plenty of ploughing left to do. I've got 3 fields to plough. I've got to join the 3 new fields up to the auto drive network. So yeah, lots to do, lots of work. Now one thing, I will hold my hands up, one thing I did do, I did stop time while I was doing this whole tree cutting malarkey. It took me ages and I didn't want to lose my window of my planting window, so I did put a stopper on the time. So at the minute we're on the 2nd day of April, it's 3:15 in the afternoon. So yeah, that was one thing. I wasn't overly keen on doing it, but I knew that if I'd have carried on doing this with time, just carrying on as it was, I'd have lost the window of opportunity to get anything into the ground from now on. So that's why that was done. Yeah, so lots and lots to do. What to do first? Oh, another pointer. I made a point in one of my last videos where I mentioned that I gave people advice saying, oh, don't start or don't save and exit your game with logs still attached to the timber trailer. Well, that was slightly wrong, so I apologize. I think it's to do with auto drive. So don't save and exit your game whilst the timber truck is running auto drive, because it's that caused the logs to explode and fly all over the place, and for the truck to suddenly just decide to have a kip and lie on its side and have a fit in the middle of the road. Because I've saved and exited a handful of times. This is the last batch of logs, obviously left over from the vast cutting that I've just performed, and I've been in and out again a couple of times recently, and these have stayed well and truly put. So forgive me for that false little bit of information. So yeah, you can leave logs stored on the timber trailer while saving and exiting. I think that's about it for actual updates. Oh no, there was one other thing. If I just have a quick fly, oh, I'm not going to fly this time. I shall. Where am I going? Where is it? Here we are. The wood sell point up here. So we've been here a couple of times, but I realised that on the map there wasn't actually anywhere to sell any normal crops or of anything. So if I was to suddenly be able to harvest a field now and sell it, I couldn't. So I've also placed down here the Silver Run Market, I think it is, base game thing, but it's somewhere that I can sell all of the produce that we make. So I've just popped that there, so we now have a sell point for just about anything. Although while saying this to you, one thing I can't remember is whether I can sell milk there. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So that's that. Okay, back over here. Right, so we need to get cracking. I think if we go back to the crop calendar, I have the rest of today, as I say, because we're playing 2-day months. So this is the last day of April. So this is the last window of opportunity that I will have to get oat into the ground if I wanted any, or no, soybeans I've got into May, and sorghum I've got into May. Okay, so yeah, I think for a bit of variety, now that I do have a handful of fields, I'm going to get one tractor busy in this field here. It'll be the 1167. Get the plough onto that. We'll get a course mapped out in here to create the grass field, get it ploughed, and obviously do the usual process to get that ready to receive grass seed. I need to get that field and the 2 new fields hooked up to the auto drive network, so I can start sending things back in 2. So I shall do that as well. As I say, I've kept hold of this thing because obviously we're going to have another 3 fields to do now. But one thing I did notice, that while I was working on field 5, getting that stone picked, because I like the field to look perfect when it's without any areas missing, there was a couple of tiny spots that hadn't been ploughed, so I went back, I got the plough, I took it back to the field, and I ran the plough again, and as soon as I dug the plough into the ground, more big rocks came back up. So I've got a funny feeling that I'm going to, well, over time I'm going to constantly need one of these, so I'm considering at some point buying one. I'm not going to do it just yet because I can't afford it. I've only got 20 grand now, and I've got whatever monetary value is in these logs here in the back of the truck. But that'll be another consideration for the future, because I think every time I run a plough in a field, it's going to bring rocks back up. So I suppose I'm going to need one of these down on the farm. So yeah, and I've still got all the piles of rocks to get picked up, so I'll be using this to obviously pick the rocks up. This has got the weight attached to the back of it for that entire purpose, and we'll get another tractor with a trailer following it, and they'll load up together. So, right, job number 1, 1167 in this grass field, and get the field mapped out. Honestly, if I knew what I was doing, I'd be lethal. No, what I'm going to do, I've just mapped out the field, the new field, the grass field here for the cows, but I'm going to harvest the grass. I'm going to cut the grass that's already there, so that I can get some feed into the cows. Because if it just occurred to me that obviously there's no point wasting what's there. If I was to plough that under, I've just lost the access to a huge amount of grass that I may as well take advantage of, because it's mine at the end of the day. So it is a bit patchy, but I'm pretty sure it should work, I think. So yeah, I'm going to get the new Claas Axion into the field here, get it mowed, and do a bit of windrowing, a bit of tedding, a bit of baling perhaps, but essentially get the cows some feed first, and go from there. So let's get this beauty going, shall we? Right, that's that bit sorted. Mowing course set up. I do hope I can get something out of this. Okay. There's a bit. Not very much. It'll still work. I'll be able to get something, I get that, but obviously there's a lot of foliage on this field that won't go until it's been ploughed under, so... Well, anything's better than nothing. So I may as well, yeah, let that crack on. We'll get something out of it. So now I think I'll get the 1050 sent over to field 3, and we shall get a field of oats drilled, I think. Right, there's the 1050 on its way. Putting the oats down into field 3 here. This will need a bit of fertilising and another rolling, of course, when this is done. In fact, let's have a quick look and see how long this job says it's going to take. 1 hour 43. Right, okay. And as ever, as before, it's set up to run auto drive back into the seed shed when it runs out. Right. What's next? What's next is we're going to put this new XXL modded field scanner into use. So let's get it on foot. I mean, look at that. If you look at the mini map on the bottom left there, this is folded, unfolded. In fact, if I look at that, I wonder if it's going to charge you the same actually. If I can actually encompass almost the whole field. I'm going to need this field will take 2 scans, so let's have a look now. So if I do a scan, that's brilliant. That is exactly what I wanted. Let's just bring up the top menu there. Minimize that. Soil samples taken 1. I wonder if it actually makes it cheaper as well, because you're just paying for 2 soil samples, even though those 2 soil samples are probably the equivalent of maybe, what, 50 or 60 of the original size ones. That's brilliant. Thank goodness for mods, that's all I can say. Right, there we go. Look at that. That whole field done in 2 scans. Brilliant. So yeah, send soil samples for analysis. It would be interesting to see how much that costs. Well, that was quick, wasn't it? 300 euros. Yeah, so it definitely... you save a lot of money with that as well. I've just paid for 2 soil samples. Amazing. Right. Well, let's send you home. Nope, steady. Right. Now we're going back home. Holmakra farm. Yeah. So you're still busy. It's kind of difficult to see where you're up to, actually, isn't it? But there is some grass there. I don't think it's going to be a huge amount by any means. Yeah, look at the... Oh, there's some of the yields in green. Well, we shall see. So, what next? What should I do? You're busy cutting over there, and then job after that will be windrowing, and then baling. And then I think... Well, we haven't got any silage at the minute, have we? So, I mean, I can just feed them grass, and I know it's not going to be... It's not optimum food for them, but... I can bale some of it, and I could... Oh, actually, no. I don't have a forage wagon, do I? Silly Billy. And I don't think... I can only find out when I've got some grass bales, but I don't think I can put bales into the loading area of this fermenting silo. I don't think that would work. Right, well, we'll see. I'll get it all baled up anyway, regardless. And I think I can put the bales in here, can't I, for now? Make some space. This is where I tip the straw. And if need be, I could shift that out of there and put some bales in there to keep them out the way. Right. Oh, they do need some water, don't they? So I'll wait for the case to come home, and we'll hook that up to the water tanker. I did also, I forgot to mention before, we've got a little a water tap here, so I can load that up with water, give the cow something to drink, and I'll also fill this thing up actually with water while we're doing it. Need to join all this bit up here to the auto drive network. The load and tip points for the fermenting silo, and for this thing here. Yeah. Plenty to do. Plenty to do. Hello everyone. Future Farmer Sim here. Forgive me, I've had to jump in and make this clip after the fact. I was getting so engrossed and carried away with all the jobs that are being done around the farm today that the one thing I hadn't taken into consideration was the length of the video that I was going to be editing together for this next episode. And as it turned out, it was going to be way longer than an hour and a half long, which is borderline ridiculous. So I have had to intervene in my world of disorganisation, jump in here after the fact and just create this little clip to say thank you to everybody for watching this episode. This is going to be the end of this episode, and the next episode is going to join on from where we've just left off. So the case is on its way back, or we'll be landing back here after doing the field scanning. The Claas Axion is still in the grass field here, getting that mowed. So we'll carry on from there in the next episode. So yeah, apologies for the mucking around. It's not the kind of thing I'd like to plan on doing in the future. It was, as I say, it was just a mishap on my part, getting carried away with all the bits and bobs being done. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I really, really appreciate it, all your time that you've spent watching my videos. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, leave me a comment. As always, I love reading the comments. Hit the like button if you can, and if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. All these things go a long way to helping the channel. Yeah, and if you subscribe, you'll keep up to date with the next episodes as they come out. So yeah, thank you everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.